So in the last video, we verified our OTP and then we signed in successfully, and then the application took us to the user information screen, which is here, which means that we successfully signed in our user. So to check that and to be sure, we can come back to our browser, go to our Firebase project, click on authentication. Let's minimize this. And then you can see that we signed in this user using a phone number, and then this is the UID. So we can go back to Firestore database, then we can minimize this for now. Then let's bring back our emulator. Now let's work on the user information screen. So for the user information screen, let's first go back to that same screen. Let's start doing our work here. So the first thing to do is let's install some packages that we need. We can go back to our browser, and then we can go to our pad.dev. Here we can first search for image picker. Let's minimize this. This a package here. Click on that. So you can see we have some installation requirements for iOS. So let's first go to installation. Let's copy this, and then we come back to our project. Let's go into pub.yaml file, then paste that one here. Then let's go back there. Let's go to readme. Why is it taking too long? What's wrong with our internet? Let's just click here again. Okay. So for iOS, we need to add permission to describe why your app needs permission to photo library. So we need to add this NS photo library usage description, and the next one, which is NS camera usage icon usage description. So for that, let's go back to our application. Then in the iOS folder, let's bring it up, click in the runner, then info.plist. So here we can just come back here and create some space. What we can do is we can copy this, then go back on top here, then paste it. Let's move this back. Then let's come back to our browser. First we want to copy this, then come back to our application, then inside the key we paste that, and then here we can put our description. We can just say this permission is to access your photo library. Of course, you can put whatever description you need to put. So let's just copy this one more time and paste it here. Let's move this back. Then we come back to our browser, and then let's copy this, minimize, then paste it here. Then here we'll say to access your camera, just like that, and then we can go ahead and close that info.plist file. Then let's go back to our browser, and then let's search for the image cropper, this one here. So it's still loading. Let's try to search for it again. Okay, so let's click on this one. Why is it taking so long? And then let's go on installation. Let's copy this, come back to our project, and then paste this one out. Let's go back there and let's go to README. So down here, when we come down, we can see that installation for Android, iOS, there is no configuration required. So we need to copy this, add the ucrop activity into your manifest. Let's close that. You can copy this, then minimize, and then let's come back to Android, application, source, main, and then Android manifest. Then down here, just after this application, we can just paste that one out. Then that's it. We can close this, and then we can also press on pub-get. Now I think we can bring back our emulator. So while this is still loading, let's go back to our authentication screen. So here, the first thing we can do is to get the phone number. If you remember, in our authentication provider, whenever we are sending the code, we are saving our phone number into this string, so we can access this phone number in our user information screen. So to do that, we can run our init method, this one here, and then here we just need to call our provider class. So there, how to call it, let's remove this. Here, let's say final auth provider. Let's say provider.auth. Let's import the provider class. Then here we are going to call our authentication provider. Context, and then we don't want to listen to any changes. Listen, we say false. So the pub.yaml file was finished. It's with exit with 0 code. Let's minimize this, so we can just ignore that. Okay, so here we are accessing our authentication provider, and then what we want to do is we want to get the phone controller text. This one we want to assign it to our authentication auth provider dot our phone number, this one. So here we are accessing our phone number, which is coming from authentication provider here. But let me just check, why do we have an error? Let's go back here. this should be, we can change that. Let's remove this and then put it here, put a now check there. So when we come back to our user information screen, the error is gone. So here, this is where we are getting our phone number. Once we save it down here, we keep it there, and then when we go to our user information screen, we are retrieving it here. So now when we reload, we can see our phone number here, that's why we've even disabled it, so that the user cannot change it again. Let's add the const modifier here. So let's first test our phone number here. Let's run the application again. Okay, let's log in. We can close this. We can also minimize all this and then minimize this. We don't have a good internet today, seems. Well, it looks like our emulator is not connected to the internet. I can see here. Yeah, that's gonna give us a problem. Let's turn it on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to stop the application, and then let me just close this emulator and then open it again.